All right, so today's objective is to take this ladder and mount it right on the side so we can access our cargo rack and our kayaks. So we got a few things to go over. We're gonna be taking off some bolts and just replacing them with some stainless steel bolts to mount the ladder on. So stay tuned, follow along, and we'll get this mounted up today out in the wilderness. All right, so today I'm using just an impact with a 3/8 drill bit or a 3/8 socket. And I'm just gonna be removing these guys. I'm not gonna use them anymore. They're all rusted out, as you can see. And I'm taking a couple of those out. And we're gonna be drilling some holes right through it. All right, so what I've done here is I put my ladder up, marked out my holes that are already pre-drilled within the ladder. I have my 3 holes on the top, 3 holes at the bottom. So I'm just gonna give them a center punch on the bottom and the top. That way my holes line up in the inside. Top corner of the trailer at the rear, I'm going to be installing my ladder, and sure enough I noticed I have some electrical tape here, which is basically telling me I have some wires running on the back side of that as well. I'm definitely going to want to put this panel back in, so I'm gently taking it apart, and lucky enough my wires are underneath and not behind, so I'm safe to go ahead and do that. So now that we got everything ready to be mounted up, we started off with drilling our 1/4-inch pallet holes, and then we stepped it up to the 3/8. So we drilled all the way through. We're all set to go with that. Bro tip number 1, we're going to start by putting some of this rubber as a barrier between the steel and the aluminum just to stop corrosion. Bro tip number 2, we're going to be using sikaflex, and I'm just going to be putting a little dab around each hole just up to the top so we don't have any moisture going into the trailer. I don't want to see that, and I just want to prevent it. And bro tip number 3, we're definitely going to be using anti-seize on the stainless steel threads, and that'll prevent it from ever seizing up, or we can get at it at a different later purpose if I have to swap anything out. So those are 3 good tips that we'll use, and we'll just get started by throwing this ladder up, bolting it up, and away we go. So, as you can see, if you can see, I grabbed the wrong size bolts. Now we're out in the middle of the bush, so we got to make sure that we can kind of fill that gap and be able to put our hardware on. And not having anything on the hand, we ended up utilizing this little chair. So, kind of pulled that all apart, and we just kind of used these pieces at the bottom, which will work, and they're thick. So we're just going to use those as spacers. And then I got 3 of those for 3 of those top bolts, and I'm going to add a washer, big fender washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Now that we got that anti-seize on, these are going to go on nicely, and try to make it look good, presentable. But it's what you have around you that you can utilize, and that little old camping chair has never been used, so now it's been used for a good purpose. Anyways, we're going to tighten all these bolts up, and we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Yeah, we're just using hand tools right now for the simple fact that it's a softer metal, so I don't want any problems with these seizing up or, you know, having an issue, especially when we only brought a certain amount of bolts, and being in the bush we don't have any extra, so I don't want nuts seizing in certain places you don't want, so we're just using hand tools. Alrighty, so we're going to be tightening these up. Kyle's going on the outside of the trailer with the wrench, and it's going to be super easy for me to just ratchet these guys up. So that would be pro tip number 4. My brother had given me these caps to fill in the tops, and he just says, you know what, water is going to run through that ladder and you don't necessarily need them, but I also don't want to constantly think of water in here stinking and corroding my metals from the inside. I'm just going to do it just to do it. I don't think I could do it on the bottom ones because I welded. So that being said, I don't think they're going to fit, but I'm going to try. If I can get them in, I'll slide it under there and show you guys too as well. Yeah, it's right where I welded. Right there, it's kind of making it a pain in the butt. I just welded along here, and I don't think these are going to fit. Oh, we got one. Okay, we made one fit. If we can make one fit, we could probably make 2 fit. Well, that's pretty much the install in a nutshell. I hope you guys took some tips and tricks from us, and you do yours too as well. Thanks for joining in. Subscribe, like, and also, if you guys like more of this kind of stuff, we're gonna be doing somewhat of a series because there's so many things we could do. The options are endless. We've also made our own trailer conversion Western Canada, the Locators, on Facebook as a group. So go ahead, join that group. Grab yours, pictures, show off your stuff. Let's see what you guys got going on your setups, and we want to see it. But I'm gonna go and use this ladder. We're gonna go through it, just kind of a pan around after we're all done and show you what it looks like for the end result. Well, thanks for watching. All work and no play makes for a bad day. So as you can see, the Jeep showed up. It's time to go Jeeping. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the lake. Thanks for watching. Let's go Jeeping.